I'm Cath and this is made by Cath Craft. Welcome back to my channel. It is so nice to be back on here after a bit of an unanticipated break. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know I didn't release any videos in December, which is quite unlike me because usually I love to join in with Vlogmas, but this December was just a bit of an unexpectedly busy time and I didn't really have any time for sewing, let alone vlogging, so I had to come off YouTube. But now I'm back and I'm really happy to be back. So thank you very much for coming back to my channel and watching this video. It's really lovely to have you back and I'm looking forward to filming lots more content this year. So yes, and I hope you all had a really lovely, relaxed, festive break and a happy new year too. We had a really nice family one, and for those who wondered, Elf did make an appearance here. Even though it was pretty busy, luckily he still decided to come and join us, and I'm sorry he couldn't be on here on YouTube to show you all his antics, but yes. Never mind, fresh new year now, and I've got some exciting sewing plans I'm really looking forward to getting started on. But I thought of my first video of the year, I'd just do a little bit of a catch up because I've got a few little bits and bobs from this and that to share. Firstly, I did manage to sew a couple of Christmas presents in December. Those are the only things I sewed, so I thought I'd share those. I've also got a couple of sewing goodies for Christmas, and then I have a few other little projects I wanted to share as well. So I thought I'd pop them all together in this video and really have a good old catch up. For then next week, I'm going to move on to my sewing plans and some lovely new fabric. I've got a bit of new fabric to share in this video actually, but I'm including this video for a particular reason, which I'll explain in a moment. So yes, that is the plan. So yes, thank you very much for joining me. Before I start talking about all of those bits I wanted to share, I'll start off with what I'm wearing today for my handmade wardrobe. And actually, after a really busy December where I pretty much lived in the same outfits every day, a lot of oversized sweatshirts and leggings, I thought I wanted to start this year by really getting some of my different handmade garments out and enjoying them, because I do love to wear them. I do love to, I say dress up a bit. It's not like I'm really dressy, but just choose garments that make you feel nice and really enjoy a variety. So I've been trying actually over on Instagram to post a daily outfit and sharing what I'm wearing each day. And it's mainly for myself really, just to sort of make myself make the effort to reach for different things in my wardrobe. I've been enjoying that actually. And today I decided to go for a dress, which I've layered over a this sort of stretch top, because it's quite chilly here at the moment. It was very frosty and I think it went into minus numbers overnight, so it's very chilly. And I was up actually at my daughter's school this morning helping, and when I'm sitting still there for a little bit on the computer, it can get a bit cold as well, so I wanted to make sure I was nice and cosy. So yes, today I'm wearing underneath this is a Freya top by Tilly and the Buttons from the Stretch book. I've got quite a few of these. This is just a one in a plain navy cotton jersey that I mainly wear for layering. And I've got over it this dress, which is this pattern here, the Hinterland dress pattern by So Liberated, which is a lovely woven dress pattern. I've got a few of these dresses. I haven't made one for ages, but I always enjoy getting my old ones out. But it's this dress with a sort of scoop neck and a button down front, which you can either just do on the bodice or you can take all the way down the skirt. And then there's different sleeve options, but as you can see, this is the short sleeve and it's got a gathered skirt with pockets, and I added a waist tie just to cinch it in a little bit at the waist. So mine's just got the buttons down the bodice. And this fabric is a cotton ikat fabric that I got a long time ago when I made an order from Mitokri, who sell lots of lovely ikat fabrics, but they're based in India. So it cost a little bit more money to get them shipped across. So I just ordered a few and then spent a bit of time enjoying sewing up a few garments over a bit of time. And this is one of the garments. It's a lovely, pretty blue colour with this pretty pattern on. I remember it being quite a tricky one to cut out because I think because of the nature of how the fabric is woven together, it's not always perfect. I think the imperfections are part of the ikat fabric. And I remember the scale on it was not totally uniform. So I had to kind of cut quite carefully to make it look fairly uniform on the garment so that the lines didn't look too wonky or anything. But I got there eventually. And I'll put a picture up so you can see what this outfit looks like on. I've actually got a thermal vest on underneath. It is pretty cold here compared to what it has been like. So yeah, nice and cozy. And I thought I'd actually also mention what I wore yesterday, because I really enjoyed getting this garment out, and I might have never worn it actually since I made it. And that's what I'm really enjoying about posting the Instagram stories each day. It's really making me choose different things, and I just really fancied wearing this particular top. So I thought I'd share it because it's been in my wardrobe for ages and I really enjoyed wearing it more than I expected. So this was my outfit yesterday, or this top with a pair of jeans. And it's a really interesting pattern, so I thought it's one worth mentioning again because it did make me think I'd like to sew it again. This is the orange top and dress pattern by Deer and Doe. I'll get it out here so I can show you because I think it's a really nice pattern and I haven't seen so many versions of it. So this is a pattern here. It's another stretch pattern, yeah, it's just got loads of different options built in. But when I bought it, the option I particularly liked, excuse me, was this version here with this lovely cutout detail at the front. But as I said, it's really versatile. You can also make this square necked version and this round necked version too. So I originally bought this pattern to make the dress, and I made the dress in this fabric here as well. And it's a lovely tencel knit fabric by Meat Milk with this rib to it. It's got a bit of a sheen to it, you can probably see. I've made a couple of different tops in it. It's got lovely stretch and it just feels really nice to wear. It's like a real luxe feeling fabric. And I had just enough left to squeeze out this little top, which I thought would be really cute with a pair of jeans and just a bit different with this cutout. I didn't have enough for long sleeves, so I thought it's a bit of a weird one because it's got this kind of cozy neckline but short sleeves. Would I wear it? But yesterday I just popped a cardigan over the top, which worked really well. And yeah, I really enjoyed wearing it yesterday actually. And I think because it has this neckline that does come up and hug your neck, it just felt really cozy and yeah. So I thought I'd share that too. I'll pop a picture up so you can see what that one looked like as well. I was just really glad to get some wear out of it actually. And I did think, yeah, that's my definite thing I want to do this year is just reach those things in my wardrobe that I've made and I just don't wear. So, and then I can decide whether I like them or not. So that is my plan this year. So that's what I'm wearing today and also what I was wearing yesterday. And I really want to keep that momentum up this year. Just every day I want to try and reach for something in my handmade wardrobe that's different and it really makes me feel good. And I'm sure there will be some days where I end up opting for some leggings and a sweatshirt, and that is fine too. I just didn't want to get into a rut of kind of wearing the same uniform day in, day out, because I have so many lovely garments that I've really enjoyed making and that I really enjoy wearing. I do want to actually make sure I do get them out and get the joy from them, and just take a bit of time to think about it and plan a bit. So yes, that is the plan for this year. So fingers crossed I'll be able to keep it up. But anyway, I'll move on now to showing some other things I really wanted to catch up on in this video too. So I think I'll start off first with what I sewed in December. And yes, I managed to sew 2 items in December, just 2 items, and both for other people. They're both Christmas gifts, but I'm really glad I did manage to fit them in. And the first one that I sewed up is something for my husband. I made him a Christmas t-shirt. So in the past, I've made him a couple of Christmas jumpers in kind of novelty, fun Christmas prints, and he's really loved them. I made them in sort of lightweight French terries, so they weren't too hot because he doesn't like a thick jumper. But actually this year, December was super mild. Christmas Day was really warm too, compared to some years. And so he wasn't really wearing his Christmas jumpers in the run up to Christmas. I think it's just because he didn't need the extra layer. So I thought I'd order some Christmas fabric and sew up a Christmas t-shirt instead, and he'd be able to wear that on Christmas Day without worrying about getting too hot. My daughter helped me choose some fabric, and we got it from Jelly Fabrics. I'll link their website down below. I think I have ordered them in the past. They do some lovely printed jersey fabrics. They also have some other lovely knit fabrics on there too. And yeah, we found this really cute fabric here. It's just a cotton jersey with a white background and these little reindeers and candy canes and holly, sprigs of holly on there too. And then when you order, you can just tick a button, which I think is quite cool, to say, send me some matching ribbing. So I asked for some matching ribbing in red. So they sent that for the neckline. So yes, here is the t-shirt I made him. So yeah, it's just a bit of fun really. Yeah, I guess Christmas jumpers have become a really big thing here in recent years. A lot of people love a novelty Christmas jumper. I don't know whether it's the same in other countries, whether it's just an English or British thing. So yeah, my husband was really pleased to be able to change into this on Christmas Day and feel nice and festive. And yeah, I made this using a free pattern, which is the ABB t-shirt pattern by DIBY Club, which is one I've used before. I've also used the kids one lots of times as well. And it's just a nice simple t-shirt pattern, and I've made it for my husband before, so I knew his measurements, so I didn't have to measure him up or anything, so it could be a surprise. But I'll link the pattern down below. I'll link all the patterns I've been talking about in this video and all the fabrics as much as I can. I think this one might have sold out now, but I'll link their website so you can have a look at their lovely selection of fabrics there. So yeah, it's a really nice quality jersey fabric, and I thought it looked cute with a little red ribbing. I haven't got a picture of my husband in this, but you can kind of imagine how it would look with a pair of jeans. And then the second item I've made, actually I didn't take a picture of. I was so busy in December and a bit frantic, and I was just trying to fit in sewing when I had a spare moment here or there. But I made my sister a sweatshirt in lilac, fleece back, sort of French terry fabric, brushback French terry fabric, which I got from Furta Fabrics. I'll pop a picture up of the fabric. I think it's still in stock there, so you can imagine. And I made her a Megan Nielsen Jarrah sweatshirt, so quite nice and oversized with a round neck, and just a simple sweatshirt version with a dropped shoulder. And I lengthened it a little bit because she likes quite a nice long cozy sweatshirt. So I made her one before again, so I knew her measurements and I knew how much I needed to lengthen it by. And she was really pleased with it on Christmas Day, and she texted me afterwards saying she was wearing it lots and really liked it. So I was really happy about that. I was really glad I made that for her. So I was really pleased that I was able to squeeze in sewing both of those garments in the run up to Christmas. Luckily, they were both quite simple, straightforward projects, so I didn't need to think too hard. I just had to get on and get them sewn up. It was actually quite tricky getting this t-shirt sewn up, not because it's a complicated project, but at the moment, my husband is working full-time from home, and I sew here on the dining table, and he often comes through this room to get to the kitchen to make himself a cup of tea or something. So I had my sewing machine all set up, and I was sewing this, and I had a piece of fabric next to the sewing machine, so if I heard him on the stairs I could cover everything up so he couldn't see what I was doing. And I also had out another project that I wasn't actually planning to work on at all, something for my daughter, so when he came through, if he asked me anything about it, I could pretend I was sewing that instead. So it felt like a bit of a stealth mission. So I was glad to be able to get it done and dusted without him noticing. To be fair, he doesn't really notice much of what's going on the sewing table too much, so he didn't look too hard, thankfully. But yeah, I was glad to get that done. So that's the first thing I wanted to share. The next thing I thought I'd share is just a couple of sewing Christmas presents I received, sewing related Christmas presents. I didn't get a lot this year, again, just because December was a bit manic. I didn't have a chance to properly think and plan about what I might like to get, maybe patterns for the coming year. I've done a bit more of that over Christmas and the New Year when I've had a bit of a time to sort of properly slow down and have a think. But I did ask for a couple of little items, so I thought I'd share them. And the first one, which I was actually using last night on something I'll show you in a moment, was a new seam ripper. So I really fancy getting like an ergonomic seam ripper. I've always just used the one that came with my sewing machine. It's like a faff one. It's quite a lot smaller than this, and it's not super comfortable after you've been holding it for a while. It's done the job fine, but I thought it might be nice to treat myself to a really nice one that feels really nice in your hand when you're working a seam for a while. So I asked for this Clover one. I think you can get it on Amazon, so I'll link it down below. It had lots of good reviews. The only downside of it is it hasn't got like a proper lid, but it comes with this little protector bit, which I'm going to try and keep for as long as it lasts. But yeah, it's really comfy to hold, and it's also lovely and sharp. I think my faff one was really sharp when I got the sewing machine, but obviously that sewing machine's a few years old now, and I've used it quite a lot. So I hadn't realised it maybe got a little bit more blunt through time. So this one felt like a proper knife through butter when I was unpicking stitches, which was nice. So yeah, I think I needed a new one really, and that'll be my backup one. And I've got one other one. I found like I was losing them a lot as well, so I think it's always good to have more than one seam ripper. So yes, that's one thing I got, which I've enjoyed using so far. And then the only other thing I got was a couple of different clips and pins. So I got some new clips to add to my little tin of sort of wonder clips, these ones here. And what I asked for particularly was the Clover wonder clips. Oh, I hadn't realised, same brand. So the Clover wonder clips I found just work a little bit better than other ones. I think quite a while ago, when I was new to wonder clips, I just got a big batch of just sort of generic unbranded ones from Amazon. And they have been okay, but they are a bit more stiff. And I've just noticed over time, a bit like pegs on the line outside, they've just gradually started to break and just sort of snap off. So I'll sort of squeeze it and it'll just snap, and then yeah, they're not usable anymore. But I have found the Clover ones, they just seem to be a little bit more smoother to use, and they seem to last a little better. So they are a bit pricier, but I think maybe actually it's a price worth paying if they do last. And I thought for Christmas, why not ask some fancier wonder clips? So yeah, I've just sort of bumped up my collection of clips with some more of the Clover ones. And again, I'll link them down below. And they're just, even the colours are a bit more pretty and a bit more slightly brighter, I think. They do look nice. So yes, that's what I got. And I also got some more of these pins, which is one of my favourite types of pins, these flower head ones. I think these are Hemline ones, and I've just got them on this lovely magnetic pin cushion, which I love to use these. And yeah, I just find them really good. Firstly, I find them because they're long. They're great for if you're pinning fabric to a pattern piece, because you don't need so many of them because they are quite long. So you don't need quite as many as if you're using little tiny pins. And I find they're quite nice and sharp too. So yeah, they're one of my favourite types of pins. And I just found, you know, through time, they've got bent or just disappeared somewhere in some sort of pin vortex in my house. I don't know. So it was nice to get some more of those too. And again, I'll link them down below. So that was all of the sewing related Christmas presents I got, but I have got a bit of Christmas money and have spent a bit on some new fabric, and I've got a couple of new patterns in my vision as well. So I think next week I'm going to do a bit of a sewing plans fabric haul type video where I'll be talking all about that sort of thing. But I have got some new fabric to share in this video because my mum asked me to make her a couple of new skirts. She went shopping in the sales and texted me and said she couldn't find any skirts that she liked or that suited her, and would it be possible for me to whip her up a couple of more skirts using a pattern I've sewn for her before that she really likes. So I sent her a load of different viscose fabrics. I had a little research online, which I think is always fun, almost sort of like a personal shopping service. I had a look on a few different websites. My kind of brief I set myself was viscose fabrics under £10 a metre, viscose challis fabrics. It'll make a lovely skirt using this pattern here, which is another free pattern, the Sabina skirt pattern by the Little Pomegranate. It's one I've made for myself and also my mum. I love it. I'd really, really recommend it. The instructions are so clear and easy to follow too. And this is the skirt here. It's got this elasticated waist, these lovely slash pockets that are anchored into the waistband, so they sort of sit really nicely, and little ruffle at the bottom. And it just comes together really nicely, and I think it's one of those skirts that works through the year because you can wear it with like a t-shirt or a vest top in summer, but also in winter it looks great with like a cozy jumper and tights and boots as well. So yes, my mum wanted a couple of more wintry versions, so I sent her a load of fabric options. She had a look and she chose two fabrics on the Guthrie Ghani website, which are both under £10 a metre. One of them was on sale as well in their kind of Christmas sales. That was nice. So I ordered them, and this is the first one, which I've already cut out. So this is all I've got left of it, actually, this little piece here. It's this lovely ditzy floral fabric with like a navy base and these little white flowers on. Really pretty, and I think that'll be great for winter because you could easily pair it with like a navy top or black top or a white top or anything really. And the other fabric I got, which is a bit more brighter, which I think would work lovely for summer too, is this one here. So they're both viscose challis fabrics. And this one, I was surprised my mum picked up this one actually because it's got an orange base, but I think she probably liked the reds and purples in it. They're really pretty, I think, the colour combination. It's got this orange base with reds and purples. So yeah, that's quite a lovely one. I think you could, yeah, really enjoy in summer as well, really, with like a white t-shirt. I think there's just one on sale. If they're still available, I'll link them down below. But they're both lovely quality, as fabrics always are when they come from Guthrie Ghani, I find. And what was quite nice actually is I like how on the Guthrie Ghani website you can order fabric in 10cm increments. So the Sabina skirt pattern, I think, says for my mum's size you need 2 meters of fabric. But actually I figured out by putting the pattern pieces out, I only needed to buy 1.7 meters of each fabric, which just saved a little bit of money as well. So that was nice. So I do like it when you can order those increments of fabric on, I think it's Guthrie Ghani, Minerva are good for that too. Yeah, so those are two fabrics. This one I've washed but haven't cut out, and this one I've cut out and I'm in the process of sewing. And yeah, it'll be nice to make those for my mum. And I think they're quite different to each other, so they'll end up looking like two quite different skirts, even though they're using the same pattern. I've also been doing a bit of sewing for my kids. I won't major on it because it's the same old pattern I've used quite a few times for them. But I've been making them both a pair of mini Hudson pants. For my daughter, I made this pair here. It's actually to go as part of a pyjama set. And she had a pair of these already. but she managed to wear a hole in the knee. I think often she's up in the morning playing in her pyjamas, so she spent a lot of time kneeling maybe on the carpet, and eventually a hole wore through. So luckily this fabric was one from Minerva, and it's still in stock, so I was able to order some more because she's still got the top, but it still fits nicely, and she really likes. So it was nice to be able to just remake a new pair of pyjama bottoms to go with that pyjama top, and I just made them slightly bigger now because, you know, she's really growing actually. So yeah, I just whizzed those up, used some nice pink ribbing I had in my stash for the cuffs and little pocket detail, and then make a nice little cute little pair of pyjama bottoms for her. Again, if this fabric is still in stock, I think there was a little bit left, I'll link it down below. It's really cute, sort of this little peachy pink colour with little cats and rainbows on. So just what you want when you're an 8-year-old girl. So yeah, I made those for her, just a nice quick sew, and also another pair of mini Hudson pants for my son in black French terry, and he loves a bright green cord. Again, mainly because he does destroy his. He definitely, rather than growing out of them, they generally get holes in the knees, which is great that he loves wearing them that much. So yes, that's what I've been working on this week since my children went back to school on Monday. And it's been quite nice to get both these pairs of mini Hudson pants sewn up, because I sort of wrote myself a little list of just a few bits I wanted to get sorted when the kids did go back to school. So it's been nice to tick these items off. And then one other thing I've been working on this week, which I was using my unpick for last night, is a dress that has been sitting in my wardrobe unfinished for quite a while now. So it's one you'll probably recognise from maybe like early autumn last year, maybe. I can't remember when. But I was making this Davenport dress by Friday Pattern Co. using this gorgeous tencel twill fabric by Meat Milk, which I'd had in my stash for absolutely ages because I'd been umming and ahhing over what to make. So I'd sewn up the Davenport dress, and I got so far as attaching the ruffle to the skirt. And then when I tried it on, this was quite a while back, I tried it on at that point, and I just wasn't sure I liked the length, but I'd already sewn on the ruffle. I thought I was going to like the length, so I sewed it on, and so I knew I needed to unpick it, and I wasn't sure if I unpicked it then I need to regather. So at the time I just thought I'll put it aside and I'll come back to it later and have another think about it, and maybe I'll like the length at that point. So I got it out this week again and tried it on and thought, no, it's definitely a bit too long. I just need to actually spend the time unpicking and chopping it off a little bit to actually get it to the point where I think it will look right on me. And I think now, having had a bit of a break from it, and also having had a bit of a break from sewing generally in December, I'm feeling quite energised and excited about new plans, and also about ticking things off my list. So I thought now is a good time to actually spend the time finishing this dress off so I can wear it as well, because it's quite a cosy tencel twill fabric. So I think it'll be perfect for the weather at the moment. Really nice cosy dress. So yes, this is the dress as it looks at the moment. And what I need to do is, I think take maybe about sort of 4 rows of these little checks off the bottom, just to sort of, yeah, make it a bit shorter. I did try just taking up the bottom ruffle, which is here, and thought maybe I can get away with just lengthening that tier, but it didn't look quite right. It just looked like I think the ruffle was too small and the skirt was too long. It just looked unbalanced. So I thought, no, I need to actually unpick and take some length off this skirt piece rather than the bottom. But luckily, the gathering seems to have remained intact. So I'm hoping I won't need to regather. I'm hoping I can just chop it off the bottom of this skirt and then just reattach this and just sew it rather than having to regather it. So that is the plan. I'm really looking forward to getting that all sorted. So hopefully in a video very soon, I'll be able to share final pictures of what this dress looks like, and hopefully it'll be the perfect length. I did lengthen that tier in the first place, thinking maybe it'll be nice to have a slightly longer dress, but yeah, it just didn't feel right. And I think in this dark fabric, I think it was just feeling like it was wearing me. There was almost too much fabric. So I think bringing it up a bit will make all the difference. So yes, my unpicker worked really well for that. And sometimes I don't mind a bit of unpicking if I'm sitting in front of the TV. It feels quite relaxing, quite mindful in a way. So yes, that is definitely on my list to actually finish, to be able to wear this winter, because I've had that fabric lined up for wanting to wear it for a few winters now. Pop him back in there. So yes, that is another plan. And then the final thing that I wanted to share in this video was something else that I finally got around to finishing, another project that has been sitting in a bag for ages that I've been really reluctant to finish. And this is a knitted make, and it's a cardigan. And I'm so happy to finish this one again ahead of the colder weather. This is the knitted cardigan here. So this is a hack of this pattern here. which is the Downtown Cardigan by All About Amy, which is the first ever knitted garment pattern I tried for myself, having only made sort of dolls' clothes and things like that before. And I love this pattern, and I've really enjoyed hacking it to turn it into more of a cropped, slightly lighter weight cardigan using a slightly lighter weight wool. This is like a worsted weight wool, whereas I think the cardigan calls for maybe a bulky, chunky wool. Yeah, bulky yarn or chunky yarn. But yeah, it's a really nice cardigan pattern. It's quite a simple one to knit, so it's a perfect first pattern to try. You knit it in garter stitch, which I think creates a really nice, cozy, wintry texture. And you kind of just knit panels at the front and the back, and then these sleeves, which have a slight balloon to them, you can see they kind of just come out a little bit. And yes, this is a crop version that I adapted from the pattern, and I've made it before in a black and a pink, and I love wearing those versions. And I thought a navy would be a great basic to have in my wardrobe too, and I think it will go really well with what I'm wearing today. Actually, I'll pop it on in a moment, we can see. But I got to the point of this cardigan ages and ages ago where I'd sewn it all together, and all I had to do was a neckband. And I had made some notes about how I'd done the neckband on previous versions, explaining, you know, how many stitches you need to pick up. But I just couldn't make head nor tail of them when I looked at them a few months ago. I was just puzzling over them, and I thought, hang on a minute, I wrote this to my future self to help my future self, but it means nothing to me. I don't understand how it works with the number of stitches and what I'm supposed to do. So I put it away, and I didn't know what I thought. I just thought I'll get on with some other projects and ignore it for a bit. And I got it back out over the new year. And I looked at my notes again, and they made sense, which is really weird. Same notes, same me, well, a few months later me, maybe just my headspace was in a different place, having not done it for a while. It just seemed a lot clearer. But anyway, so I was finally able to get on with finishing the neckband. I did this lovely 2x2 knit, which I think goes really well with the chunky cardigan. And yeah, it was really enjoyable to finish it off, actually. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad to have done it. And in a way, I'm glad I waited, because I did really enjoy finishing it rather than it feeling like a chore. And I think at the point when I was doing it before, it felt like it was going to be a chore. So sometimes it is worth the wait, even though I'm one of those people, I really do love to get things ticked off the list. And sometimes I think I can rush to tick something off the list for the satisfaction of ticking off the list, but rush it too much. And sometimes it's just better to take that time. So maybe that's a lesson for me this year. You know, something to bear in mind as like a New Year's resolution, I don't know. But anyway, I'll pop it on and you can see how it looks. It's just quite a nice throw-on cardigan. It hasn't got buttons. It's just a nice throw-on cardigan to add a bit of warmth. The yarn is a We Are Knitters Merifine yarn, so it's like a merino wool. So it's nice and cozy. So yeah. So yeah, I'm really glad to have this one finished. And yeah, I think I'll update you in a future video about my next knitting and crochet plans, or maybe talk about those next week. But yes, I'll take this off now because it's actually very cozy with it on, and I'm already layered up with my my thermals and everything. So that is sort of what I've been up to over the last few weeks. So I hope that catches you up. And thank you so much for joining me. It's so nice to be back on. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you again for a video next week. So I'm going to be going back to weekly videos. I've got some exciting plans, some new fabric that I bought in the sales, a new pattern, all sorts I want to share. So I'd love it if you join me next week again. But thank you so much for watching. Wishing you a very happy, healthy new year, and I'll look forward to seeing you for another video again very soon. In the meantime, I'll say goodbye. So yeah, bye.